I assume all of you in this room are HR professionals. Is that right? Anybody who's not a HR professional? Okay, that makes 3 of us. Good afternoon once again. My name is JANGOO, and I am the CEO and co-founder of this company called InsideGuru.com. We are a young 2-year-old startup who have used technology in the field of human analytics and come up with this platform. This afternoon I'll talk you through some concepts and then talk to you a bit about how Inside Guru could be a good partner for you. My comrade in arms for this presentation this afternoon is Mrs. Ramola Mahajani, a lady sitting in the front row. She is most definitely a human resource professional. In fact, she is kind of the doyen of psychometrics in India. She is an associate fellow of the British Psychological Association, and also what I call as a COP, which is a certified occupational psychologist. So deep domain expertise over here, and I have my 2 co-founding colleagues as well. We heard Sharad talk a lot about data. We're kind of going to be in a similar sphere, but tell you how we can help you use all of that. Before I kind of dive into this, I'll put up a bunch of numbers which I collated over the last few days in terms of what are some of the challenges you folks in this room are facing. Let me explain this bit of a number slide to you. I've collated this from multiple sources, and essentially what you're seeing are percentages of people who said, yes, this is a challenge for me. So for example, if you read the first one under hiring, ascertaining ability of entry-level candidates. If I asked people, if these people went and asked HR professionals, is that a big challenge for you? 56% of the people said yes. Another big challenge, finding and retaining middle managers, right? It's not about ability, it's a lot about culture, job fitments, all of those we'll talk about. So whatever you look at from a hiring perspective to things around performance drivers, what are your challenges in terms of getting the best performance out of folks in your organization? Motivation, surprisingly, is as high as 47%, and even more surprising is interpersonal skills and behavior. 72% of your fraternity said that's a big challenge when it comes to getting the best in terms of performance. And in terms of retention, one of the big messages was a lot of people left organizations for things like bad managers, compensations, etc. But one of the big challenges was finally something called the culture mismatch. We'll talk a bit about that as well. As you might have probably perceived on the previous slide, this presentation is all about getting the right fit talent. I think what I have learned over the last many years of running companies, which I used to do in my previous avatar, it's not about getting the guy who got the highest marks in engineering or the MBA gold medalist. It's not about getting the best guy in that domain. It's about the person who can fit well into the job that you have for him in your organization, given all its interpersonal and cultural nuances which are there. So given all these challenges, what's a possible solution? Well, there are many solutions, including having bright HR folks like yourselves in organization doing your bit. But we think a concept called psychometric assessments. All of you familiar with this concept of psychometric assessments? So quickly glance through this. This is something which I gleaned out of the Psychometric Coaching Institute of Australia. To put it very succinctly, psychometric assessments are something which identify the extent to which a candidate's personality, means his overall attributes, habits, etc., and cognitive abilities match those required to perform a role. And if used well, this allows organizations to predict based on objective data, which our previous colleague spoke a lot about, which candidates will be more suitable for specific roles. Maybe we should have reversed our speaker slots, because a lot of what he talked about was post-mortem stuff and what's going to happen once a person is joined, whereas we're talking about using psychometric assessments to predict how a person might fit and might behave and perform in a given organization. Let us look at some of the benefits of psychometric assessments for an employer. All of you are quite familiar with this, but I'll just quickly run through. First and foremost, it gives you a definite objective measure of a person's ability and knowledge. And the key operative word is objective, which can sometimes get lost in subjective interviews. Not that we recommend doing away with interviews, but psychometrics, if used efficiently, give you objective data on someone's ability, knowledge. Most importantly, they give you valid and reliable indicators of fitment and performance that you can expect from a candidate who's applying for a job. And by the way, psychometrics is not just about hiring. Our system and most of psychometrics can be used most effectively when you're considering people for rotation or for the next level of promotion, etc. In fact, we recommend using psychometrics and the online platform for a lot more of that than it's currently used. It obviously gives you speed and hiring, speed and accuracy, and it gives you a lot of indicators about people's personal motivations and learning preferences. In fact, you get customized, individualized reports which then help you as HR folks to go and tailor incentive schemes, job rotations, training and development programs. Now you might say, I don't want to have 500 different programs running for T&D in my organization or L&D. But what it can tell you is what are the key drivers of most folks and how you can bucketize them and then have programs which are a lot more bespoke. And again, a quote at the bottom of this slide, continuing on the same vein, which talks about it's less important than hiring someone who is the best. It's more important to find the best fit with the way work gets done in your organization.